What makes a man desirable? What is it? What is it that makes a woman want to have a man in her life? And this is going to be the subject of our chat today. You know, I get quite a few women coming at me with this idea that, hey, older man, Paul, you only seem to be picking on the woman. This is supposed to be a men's channel. Why is it that you don't talk about what's wrong with the men? And ladies, here's my response. Who is it that went through this drastic change that have changed the whole landscape of relationships? Which one of us out of the two genders that have changed so significantly and have moved so far from the traditional way of having relationships that it's now so bad to the point where we are no longer having relationships? Which one of the genders changed significantly? Did we have feminism or did we have maleism, if that's a term? Females or males, which one of them have changed so significantly that we no longer have traditional values when it came to relationships? Do I think that there should have been certain changes made for female equality when it came to the workplace? Yeah, definitely. Do I think that there were changes required at home? No, I don't think anything should have changed. Male and female roles in the home should have pretty much remained the same because what we're doing now isn't working. This whole equality bullshit isn't working. Because if it was, more and more relationships would stay intact. Now, of course, you will argue, oh, the only reason women stayed in relationships because they couldn't leave because men had the money and men had the power in the relationship. But think about it, ladies. What is the one thing most women are now screaming that they need more of in men? They need stronger men.
Men make decisions with their head, logic. Women make decisions with their heart, emotions. So women change their mind often, and that's okay. We're women, that's what we do. But that's why we need the men. We need the men now to stand up, the masculine men, the healed masculine men. We need the men who are going to lead us with a purpose, for the purpose of the higher good. We need the men to be able to stand up, to speak their minds, to actually be assertive and make decisions based on logic, based on what's best for society right now. We need the masculine men to lead us in the direction we need to go.
That's the biggest issue. Oh, I can't find any men that are real men anymore. What is a real man? A real man is a man who don't act feminine. But then when you had the real men, you complained, oh, you didn't have any control and no power. But you're asking for men to be men. You want leaders. You want powerful men.
Gentlemen, let's be very frank here. Women don't know what they want. Shh, I might get in trouble for this message. Particularly your wife. Or let me rephrase this. Your wife knows the emotion or the energy of the feeling of what she wants. This is very much in the feminine nature, okay? It's lack of structure, lack of clarity, it's feeling, sensation, the body. But she may not know how to express it, or she may not be able to express it directly to you, or she doesn't know how to get it from you. This is what I commonly come across from men and women. This is where it's your job to lead. It's your job to step in the role of your position as the man in the house and help her get what she wants.
But now you've created a whole society of soft men. You're upset because you can't find any real men. Do you understand female thinking? How can you ladies expect to have both? You want a feminine man, but sometimes he has to be in his masculine role. That's not how life works. Men can't be both feminine and masculine at the same time. When someone breaks in the house, who do you want to go? Oh my God, I'm not going. Oh, honey, you have to go. You have to go. I'm scared. or you want a man to get up, pick up that baseball bat and say, all right, honey, you stay in the bedroom, I'll check it out. If anything happened, here's the number, call this number. Or he picks up a gun and makes a move. We have become so comfortable as women because they've been protected by men so well that they became disillusioned by the fact that, hey, it's no longer a man required in the house to protect me. Oh, I have a male police force that will protect me. You know what? Tell that to the women in Israel. Tell that to the families when men break in and just start destroying the entire household. Tell that to people in Ukraine. Tell that to the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of families in war-torn places. Whether they want a man who's emotional or they want a man who has stayed in his masculine role. You ask those people, what do they prefer? An emotional man or a man who acts like a man, who stays in his role as a man? Because the problem you ladies don't understand, that if all men act more feminine, that you would be safe, you are sadly mistaken. An emotional man with testosterone is a dangerous man. I have a few videos that I want to play today that shows you how emotional women get and how it creates problems for men. I particularly love this one video where a woman displays her masculinity, the man shuts up, and the results of that. But before we get into it, guys, you know what to do. You know what I'm going to say if you've been here before. Please like the video. Come on now, like the video so the algorithm can do its job and push it to more people. And of course, if you need to book a session with me, listen, log in to askanolderman.com, book a session. If you need any mentoring, if you need any help with any problems, I'll be happy to mediate with any marital problems, any couples problems. I'll be happy to give you my life experience and help you out as best as I can. All right? But if you have something quick to say, just want a quick question answered, please feel free to get me over on Instagram on Ask an Older Man, and I'll be more than happy to send you a quick response. No problems, no fuss. So ladies, I want you to understand what happens when you emasculate your husband or your boyfriend and you push yourself at the forefront. You cannot control your emotions. Men, we are taught from day one, we have to control our emotions because emotion plus testosterone makes you dangerous. The problem is women, when they get emotional and they get violent, they get hurt, but they try to drag their man into it. But the problem is they also try to drag their man into their problem, into their emotional space. That's when we have problems. So I want you guys to watch this quick encounter with a policeman, this video I came across earlier.
So you're going to receive a ticket for being in the park after hours, all right? Just need to sign right here on the ass for being in the park, especially from out of town.
And what's your badge?
7452.
And what's your name?
Officer Brooks.
What's your first name?
I'm not going to give you my first name.
Okay, and I don't have to sign this, right?
You do have to sign it.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, like I explained to him, if you don't sign it, then you're going to be physically taken to jail.
Gotcha.
So you refusing to sign?
What's your name?
Officer Brooks, 7452.
What's the badge number?
I gave it to you 2 times, man.
Okay, I'm asking again.
And I'm not giving it to you.
Okay.
Are you going to sign it?
No, because I want your badge number.
That's all right. You want to put your hands behind your back for me? Hey, listen, man. She said she's not signing it. Put your hands behind your back.
Sorry?
Ma'am.
You're hurting me.
Okay. I'm asking you to put your hands behind your back.
Sign the ticket.
I'm going to sign
She's about to sign the ticket. That's all you wanted to do is sign the ticket. That's all it is.
I'm going to sign the ticket.
That's all
Asked you to sign the ticket. You told me you're not
I'm,
signing.
about-
I'm going to
she's
sign the
about to
ticket
sign the
now.
ticket
Mr.
now.
Brooks, I'm going
You
to
don't
sign
have
the
that
ticket.
option now.
Why don't I have the option,
Because
Mr.
I gave you
Brooks?
2 options.
She was just asking for your
Mr.
badge
Brooks,
number
I'm
at
asking
first.
for your badge number, and I wasn't clear on why you weren't giving me your badge.
Sir, you don't have. Sir, you do not have to hold her like that.
Oh my God.
Sir, you do,
Turn around and put your hands
Sir,
behind your
this
Tell
back.
is
me
unnecessary.
why I'm being arrested. I
You're
have
gonna
the
be
right.
tased.
I have
do
the
not
right to
tase
know.
her. Sir,
I just get irritated when I see incidents like that that could easily have been avoided. Now, This woman obviously tried to push her whole idea. I'm a woman type of bullshit on the police officer. This idea, I'm gonna ask him for his name and badge number. He's not giving out his first name. Shouldn't. He has his right, right? But all of a sudden, she's gonna keep asking him for his name and bring up the attitude. This is what men hate. Now she tried this with a police officer. But the point I'm trying to get into this video is it is at that point that the man should have stepped in and say, hey baby, listen, just sign it. Okay? From the time he heard the attitude, he should have stepped in and shut her down because she's now moving in her emotional state. Any logical person would have realized, okay, it's a ticket. I sign it, I acknowledge I'm getting a ticket. Finish. What's your badge number? What's your name? What's your badge number? Why would you do that in any situation? Just because you're in America? And when I tell you guys, when I do these videos of women being arrested here in Dubai, you have to understand that shit don't work anywhere else in the world. And I'm glad to see it's not working anymore in America. But it's time that you ladies identified that you are the problem. I'm going to get those emails about, no, you're just picking on black women. This is the attitude that they're coming with. What? And no one can say anything about that attitude? No logically thinking person would look at that incident and say to yourself, that's normal. You have an encounter with anyone of authority, anyone, and you escalate something that is so minor from, hey, okay, I'll sign the ticket. What is the ticket for? Acknowledging that you're receiving the ticket. Okay, can I read the fine print? Sure, read the fine print. It's okay, you sign it. Done, finish. That's what logical thinking, normal thinking individuals would do. If at any point you see on that form that says, if you are not interested, if you do not want to sign this piece of paper and you prefer to consult an attorney, you take that option. But if it's just acknowledging that you received a ticket, that's it. Otherwise, you're going downtown. The woman chose violence. The man, if he had any freaking point of authority over that woman, he would have instantly identified, I have to step in here. She's out of pocket. But no, he didn't. Now her ass is arrested. Ladies, you don't understand when you're going wrong, when you're in your emotions, and you don't understand the necessity of a man to step in to rescue your ass from yourself. Just so that you know this is not my opinion alone, let's read a few of the comments, okay? This is a gentleman, or it's a lady, I don't know. Yeah, it's a gentleman. He stood by and watched it all go down. He should have stepped in when he saw she was in her feelings. Most of the time, men have to protect their wives from themselves. You can tell he doesn't lead his house, but I don't think that's her husband though. 1,483 likes. Probably isn't, but I don't want to make judgment. The point is, he should have acted like a man and stepped in. He should have been very aware that this is going to get violent. This is not going smoothly. That's what men instantly identify. I'm talking about men who are men. This lady said, Madeleine said, all that attitude until them iron bracelets came out. Yeah, shit get real when handcuffs comes out. Put your hand behind your back. That's when shit gets real. The officer Tatum said, he was extremely professional. He explained it and she refused. Tired of people not following clear orders. Thank you. Robert said, how many times do you have to be told before you listen? This is where the problems are. She went from gangster to Mr. Brooks. That's true. That is true.
She was just asking for your badge number at
asking
first.
for your badge number, and I was.
Anthony Starr Wilson said, once again, a black woman with all that damn mouth. All she had to do was sign a ticket. You see the guy, knew what was going on and he didn't say anything because he knows the rules. But he should have known that one last rule. Step in, save her from herself. That's it. Wet Sue said, big mouth, small brain. Hey, Mr. Carter, where you been? He said, she's wrong. He told her exactly what would happen and she kept trying him and tried to switch up when the cuffs came out. The cop actually showed restraint with them both. Richie 3392s. As an ex-cop out of DeKalb County, Georgia, signing a ticket is not an admission of guilt. Signing just states your understanding you receive a citation and will show up for court. You can take someone to jail on a ticket or ID if they refuse to sign the ticket. I've been in this predicament where someone refused to sign plenty of times. When they refuse, you write refused on the ticket, irrespective of suspend their license. I guess it should have been or suspend their license. She was wrong for resisting, but I wouldn't have went to this extent. There are bigger crimes to catch. I used to just give people heads up and warn them when I catch them in the park at night or even when I catch them having sex. I just send them on their way. Good luck to them. So more than likely, she was cheating in the park. Edward Mullock says she is in the wrong and the husband should have yelled at her to just sign the ticket. If it was her husband. Just saying. Just saying. He obviously never had a say over the woman. So that is a possibility that he had no authority over her. Yeah, I said it. There it is again. So it's not just me. It's just not me. It's just not me, guys, who are going after bad behavior. But it has to be pointed out. I get accused of, oh, you just hate women. Oh, you just hate black women. Oh, it's just what you call shaming language. I am trying to help the black community. That's it. If you were saying that I should just shut up and just let things go as it is, that's how societies collapse. We all need correction, me included. If something I say or do that I can strongly see where, hey, I can use my critical thinking skills and say, hey, you weren't right in that position, I will gladly say, okay, you're right, and correct my behavior. But I prefer someone to point it out because I can't see it. It's very difficult to self-analyze. And all I'm saying, ladies, is that I'm pointing it out. And I'm glad to see all the women now coming out and saying enough is enough. The other issue that I see, the other major change that has occurred in relationships is the oversexualization of women, where women just feel that they can do anything sexual and men should just accept it. This is the other biggest problem where relationships are collapsing. Sexual liberty amongst women. And here's here's the thing. Ever since the beginning of time, men have always had more than one partner. Nowhere in history, in any major culture, and I say major, because yeah, you might find some in some minor little cultures in some rural areas of the world, China and Africa, where the woman has had more than one husband. But 99.9999% of cultures, it has always been one man who can support more than one woman, have always had multiple wives and concubines. That's just it. But now we've reached this point where women want to be like men.
Let me reintroduce myself, my husband, and my boyfriend.
How do you think that's going to work out when women are the carriers of our generations, where women are the first teachers of society? We are now in the age where there are more sex workers than there are nurses in the West. Think about that. There are more women in OnlyFans and on sex cam, than there are nurses. And we know that nurses comprise of primarily women. There are more sex workers than there are teachers. That's a scary statistic. Yeah, more women on OnlyFans and cam work combined. Not even talking about the Instagram hoes and all of that, all this stuff. We're talking about just OF and sex cam workers in the Western Hemisphere. That's scary. So when Candace Owens, she was never really a favorite of mine. I'm not a right winger, by the way. I'm more of a middle, but she said this.
Right now. That is the most disgusting thing right now. The oversexualization of our culture. I did the Whatever podcast. It broke my heart to sit across from a 22-year-old who sleeps with 10 men a night.
I am 22 years old and I'm a full-time sex worker. I do content creating like on OnlyFans as well as stripping.
And her answer is, well, I make money. Our culture is demonic. Feminism is the number one attack on family. What are they telling women? Men ain't shit. You shouldn't be having children. Women are being told that they should be like men. By the way, we're getting the worst end of the deal. I don't know who sat down and had the feminist meeting in the beginning and was like, hey, so here's how we're really gonna make men lose. First, we're just gonna keep sleeping with them with no commitment. And then we're gonna be naked on the internet all the time. And then we're gonna say, we're gonna work just like you. And we're gonna bring in the same. I don't know. This is the worst deal ever.
And on top of that, men get to compete in your sport.
Yeah. So tell me, whose attitude need to be adjusted? Men or women? Who's changed the game? We have to identify where the disease started and how to cut it out, how to stop it from spreading more. Because as it is, I'm telling you, it don't look good for relationships. All right, guys, subscribe. And of course, if you ever want to have a chat with me, go to askanolderman.com and book a session, and I'll be happy to help as best as I can. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, cheers.